Yo, it's Jax. Ain't no music in the background, ain't no nothing. Shit. I wanted to, but this shit not working. Mercury in retrograde. You already know how it be. But what's going on now is my name is Jixie, representing for Sleep Movement. I'm gonna run down the moon and Aries through the houses. Just so from this page, from this source, niggas know the energies in the sky and how to participate with favor and use these energies for what you're trying to manifest into your life. So the moon is in late degrees Aries right now. So we're going to move into the sign of Taurus like tomorrow. About like 27 degrees right now, the moon in Aries. But I'm going to be breaking down the moon transiting through the 1st through the 12th house. So if you know about your natal chart, which you should know about your natal chart is where the transits were in the sky when you were born. So it's the influences that you were resonating with when you came into this realm of reality. Then you should know what sign you have Aries in your chart. And we're gonna go through that. What's up, baby? So we got the moon in the 1st house. So if you're in Aries rising, the moon in your 1st house, then you should be reacting and responding to your personal life, your personality, your personal issues, the things that you do pretty much by yourself. You should be reacting and responding to yourself right now. The moon in Aries is very familiar with the 1st house. So you should be familiar with yourself right now if you're an Aries ascendant or if you got Aries in the 1st house. So feel comfortable with yourself and identifying with yourself and what you are passionate about and the goals that resonate with you. That's what you should feel comfortable with right now, and it should look like something that you can build and be the boss of. If you got Aries in the 2nd house, you should be reacting and responding to your values, your value system, your self-esteem, and what you have to offer to the world. You should be reacting and responding to your safety, security, and comfort zone. Really, what you think is comfortable, and also your 2 cents, like what you're able to measure out in a practical way with your senses and the way that you see things, your own fixated way of seeing things. That's what you should be reacting and responding to. You should feel real comfortable with gaining a sense of stability and initiating and creating a new way of how to see and feel about that sense of stability regarding the situations that you're going through. Because the moon in Aries, if you're what is that? Wait, no, that's not Taurus. That's the other one. If you got Aries in your 2nd house, then you're a Pisces ascendant. So as a Pisces ascendant, you're already as a Pisces ascendant, you have, like, when it comes to your stability and what you have to offer, you've always been someone who creates like some new shit to offer to the world and use as a planting seed to help grow some shit. So you should be reacting and responding to that shit. Like with the moon in Aries right now, if you got Aries in your 2nd house, you should be creating a new way of how to see and feel about a way of stabilizing your values. You should be very passionate and very individual and very passionate and very invested into what you value personally and not really worried about somebody else's value system. You should be creating new ways of how to see and feel about what you have to offer and creating new seeds really to plant as someone who has Aries in the 2nd house. So that's for the Pisces ascendants. So niggas already familiar and be coming across as dreamy and shit and like having like mad things under their sleeves and shit and having like being very like tapped in spiritually and very just like invested into all types of shit that they've emotionally connected to. So you should have, with the moon in Aries, it's gonna go into Taurus. So we're gonna do some Taurus shit. Ife, what's good, bro? What's good, bro? Yo, 2024 Ife, we're tapping in. Like, segue. 2024 Ife, we tapping in. Like, I know I gotta make my way to where you at, but yeah, we tapping in, bro. So yeah, if you got Aries in the second house, react and respond to your value system, like, and create new passions for what you think is valuable, and what you think can help you stabilize the goals that you want to bring into this realm of reality. Now, it's gonna take time. Like, it's gonna take time. You have to be patient with this. This is not gonna be something that happens tomorrow. And with the moon in Aries, you might be wanting to see the fruits of that labor, like, fast. All right, so the moon in the third house, you got to be reacting, responding to what's familiar to you, your surroundings, your friends, your family, your siblings, and like familiar places that you used to. So be imaginative. Like, with the moon in the third house, you may be wanting to talk to everybody about, like, some shit that you want, that some new shit that you want to bring into this world. Like, that's cool, especially with the moon waxing right now. Like, that's cool. Like, you can plant those seeds, but don't be too fickle. Like, don't be too fickle, and shit just may be, talk. You decipher between what's talk and what can be taken action towards. But a lot of what's talked about can be taken action towards. With the moon in the third house, you got Aries in the third house. Just react and respond to your family, to your familiar places, familiar people, places, and things in your life. That's what you want to react and respond to. And you want to initiate and create a new way of seeing and feeling about those things. Like, initiate and create a new way of seeing and feeling about your surroundings. You may want to go to a new place that's, like, around where you be staying at, and it may be that place that you'll get the idea to act on that new thing that you want to bring into this realm of reality. So go somewhere new. Like, get into your little your little 3 energy. Like, get into your little see the community. Go around the community and see. And initiate and create a new way of seeing and feeling about what you want to do in your community. Like, do that. Be an individual in that kind of sense, and make it look like something you can like build on. Moon in the fourth house. This is a learning energy. You gotta learn. You gotta learn the things. You gotta learn how to. And you got to learn in situations that are familiar with you, that you're familiar with, how to bring new energies and situations into that space that you're familiar with. So you're reacting and responding to your family, your heart space, what you keep close, your domestic issues, but you wanna initiate and create a new way of how to see and feel about this shit. So really, what you want to do is take your passions and create an emotionally comforting environment for yourself with those passions. Like, you want to be in the space where you're comfortable and what feels cool with your heart and shit, but you want to be able to create a new passion in this space, and you want to be able to be yourself, really. So don't be afraid of what's new, and you gotta learn how to not be really afraid of that, and how to create space and emotionally nurture with good waters. Like, you want to speak positively into the new thing that you're trying to bring into this reality, into your private space. This is like a new goal that you're emotionally connected to. So don't be afraid to emotionally connect to that shit, and water it with the positive ideas, but also positive feelings for that new goal. So you want to do that shit. All right. What else with the moon in the fourth house? If you got the moon in the fourth house, what's your ascendant? You got your is that Nah. But yeah, whatever ascendant that is, if you got moon in the 4th house, that's what you want to react and respond to. Like creating some new goal and creating some new passion and watering it with good waters. In a space that you're comfortable with. So this may be your bedroom, this may be home shit. This may be whatever it is that that feels comfortable to you. You want to be reacting to your passions in that space and not really anyone else's 2 cents about it. Just like, especially with that being the house that Cancer came out of. So it's really just about you in that space for real. And real masculine in terms of the Aries, the new thing that you want to bring into this reality, and then the situation will be feminine in terms of what you're already familiar with and what you've already connected to. So the 5th house, moon in the 5th house with Aries there. You want to express and have a fixated way of feeling and seeing and feeling. That's going to be the situation. You're going to already have a fixated way of seeing and feeling about what you're creatively involved in, the way that you like to creatively express yourself, and the things that you pay attention to. You already have that fixated way, and that's going to be the situation. But you want to create a new passion and motivation in that space and area. So you really is going to be a familiar energy because the fire house and it's a fire sign. So there's going to be a gift there in terms of emotionally being able to quickly emotionally connect to whatever it is that you want to express. Now, in terms of the goal, you want to maybe even think of a new way of creatively expressing yourself. Like you want to have passion towards a new way of how to maybe even garner attention, but attention towards the character that you are like spiritually connected to and also you're using to identify with. So you don't want to do shit just for attention. But even you doing shit just for attention may be beneficial if you have Aries in the 5th house, because even you doing shit for attention but it will even create that the esoteric currency for that to be placed for you to have access to. If you do want to choose to then get serious about something that you actually identify with spiritually, to start acting towards in that area. But if you got Aries in the 5th house, and what fucking ascendant is that? So that's Sagittarius ascendant, says it's fire. So it's the fire house. So Sagittarius ascendant, like if you're a Sagittarius ascendant, what you want to be reacting and responding to right now is your entertainment realm. Like peep game about what you be paying attention to. Because as a Sagittarius ascendant, you may attract, and a lot of things may naturally just gravitate towards you, just based off of your personality. But it's not everything that you need to invest in terms of what you're paying attention to and the attention that you're giving it and shit like that. So if you Sagittarius ascendants, beware of that shit. Aries in the 5th house, you want to react and respond to your entertainment realm, and you may want to look into new things that you could be entertained by, or new situations that you could entertain that may be beneficial for you. So you want to do that. Aries in the 6th house, react and respond to your duty, your work, your responsibilities, your schedule, your routine, and also keeping things on task. You may want to find a new way of feeling comfortable about how to do these things. All right, Aries in the 7th house, react and respond to your relationships. Now, this is an opposition because Aries don't really like the 7th house. Aries is an individual, and the 7th house is very compromising and relating. Aries don't like to relate a lot of the times. With the moon in the 7th house, you want to initiate and create a new way of how to see and feel about your relationships. Like maybe even see and feel a new way of how to relate, in terms of relate in a way that's beneficial for you. In terms of like, this is the Libra ascendant. So relate in a way that's beneficial for you. Like if you're passionate about something, try to figure out a new way of how to relate, whereas you can still get your passions out. And you can still feel fulfilled within yourself when you're relating, in situations where you're relating, because it's something that you're passionate about as well. So you don't have to be selfish and on the lower octave be like, oh, this is just, I can't relate if it's just not matching my energy. But you can actually find situations where you can create new ways of how to see and relate in terms of with that dialogue about how to relate some shit that you're passionate about, some shit that you see and feel about, like, and don't entertain shit that's not like that. Don't entertain nothing that's not like that. So Aries in the 8th house, you want to initiate and create a new way of how to see and feel about your deep passions, motivations, and desires that may be hidden and not necessarily privy to be seen like that, like to the outside world. You want to experience some shit like that. You want to initiate and create a new way of how to see and feel about like shared values, manipulative situations. You may want to bring some shit to the surface by expressing it. You may want to really act on some deep desire that has always been hidden, but you want to actually experience that now. You want to act on that shit. You may want to transform that entire way that you're looking at that shit and really feel a new way about that shit. But whatever it is that you're fixated on, some deep desire that you want, it's time to act on it. This is how you may be feeling, but the way that you act on it, it needs to be in a way that you can be the boss of that whole entire situation, and in a way that it can be practically built in a way that you can create a status that resonates with you. Now, Aries in the 7th house, you might want to experience, you may want to travel physically or mentally, and you may want to initiate and create a new way of how to see and feel about these travels. Aries in the 10th house. Yeah, Aries in the 10th house, you may want to initiate and create a new way of how to see and feel about the status that you created for yourself. Maybe you need a new business plan, you need a new business idea. You may want to act on one of these things, and you may want to be the face of it, for real. So do that. Spend a lot of energy doing that. Aries in the 11th house, you may want to initiate and create a new way of how to see and feel about your associations, who you're associated with, the ideas that you have, and the public arena. You may want to visit new places, new communities. You may want to visit new communities, and also gain some insight about your goals through that too. Make sure that you're doing that. Aries in the 12th house, you may want to initiate and create a new way of how to see and feel about your passions, your aspirations, and all that shit. So make sure that you isolate, because isolation is important. Time to yourself is important, and it's in that space that you're going to be able to fully access the vision that you would like for yourself. Aries through the houses. We'll be back soon. Probably when the moon is in Taurus, so we'll be back soon. So we go through Taurus. This is Jixie, representing from Sleep Movement. Shout out Sleep Movement. Shout out gang in this bitch. And we out.